Okay, I'm going to close that. Going to go File, New, and we're going to set up a different kind of lighting situation. I'm going to delete that cube. Spacebar, add a mesh plane. Scale that by 100. So we've got a nice big plane there. And we're going to get rid of our light. Select the light, delete it. Leave the camera there. I'm going to go into our material buttons and set up a world setting. Change this to a bright blue sky and set up our ambient occlusion, which is a type of global illumination. Turn that on. Samples of 5. And I deleted our cube, didn't I? I'm going to add a mesh monkey. Move that up. Place it right there. Go 0 on our keypad. And hit F12. And let's see an ambient occlusion render. Alright, it's looking pretty nice. It's kind of grainy though. So we'll escape from that. Let's hit the escape key. Just for kicks. Let's put that in local rotation and turn that. Go into a Z key shaded view. And go back into global. Place that on the ground. Tweak it. Place it. Tweak it. Place it. Alright. And let's go ahead and scale it up. Okay, there's our monkey head. We'll go into the edit button, set it smooth. Add a modifier, a subsurface modifier, so that it's got subdivision surface smoothing on it. Now we'll go back into our settings here and turn up our samples to something like 8. And let's see what that does for our ambient occlusion. See, in order not to take a lot of time here, I'm going to go into render settings. I'll choose the 50% setting on size. Alright, this is taking significantly longer. However, it's already looking a lot smoother. This is taking an extremely long time on my machine because I'm also screen capturing while I'm doing it. But I can see from the shading down here that we're getting a much smoother look. Still a little bit of a graininess, but that's alright. We'll probably leave it at about 8. What I want to do is cancel that. I'm going to escape out of that and click here and go back into world settings, and I'm going to increase the energy of this to 1.5, and let's take a look and see what that does. And now in my render settings, I'm going to turn on render borders, and I'm going to do a Shift B and draw a render border around this. That was Shift B to draw a render border, and I'm going to hit render again. And this time, well, let me go ahead and cancel that. Hit escape. Close that out. I'm going to come over here to the render settings, and instead of render window, I'm going to do a full screen render, render. I'm going to pause the screen recorder for a moment, and then we'll come back. So now we're looking at this again. We've had a little more time to render. We're about 7 minutes into this render, and this is on a single processor, hyper-threaded 3.1 gigahertz Pentium. I have some 8 processor machines that certainly go a lot faster, but the nice thing is Blender will use all the processing threads on your machine that it can to render with. So looking at that, I'm liking what I see. What I'm trying to do is a scene setup. I'll let you know you can render with no lights, just using an ambient occlusion, which uses the world as the light source. We're not using any color from the world right now. It's a light blue, and we're just using the value of it. So that's what we have right there. So let's go ahead and escape out of that, and I'm going to go back to my world settings. Let's make this a full white. We're going to turn this energy up to 1.6, and we'll leave these settings the way they are. Set the number of samples. 8 is fine for right now. I'm going to save this as, in our model folder, as a light set, ambient occlusion. Okay, what I'm going to do is, now that it's saved, I'm going to select and delete my monkey. I'm going to file, append or link. Still have, let's go to the cell phone. We'll go to the model folder, go to the cell phone file, to objects. With the right clicks, I did a right click and slide down. Select those objects, load library. This time I'm just going to directly append rather than link. Let's go ahead and link this. Load our library. Remember that other part of our cell phone is on this layer. It's probably something we should correct over time. I'm going to reposition my camera. G, middle mouse, click. And see this in textured view. Let's do some material settings on our floor here. That's fine, hold on. Okay.
You're making a lot of noise. Is it alright?
You know what? I'm just gonna do it, and then I'm gonna go back and re-narrate it if I have to.
Okay.
I'm kind of working in a place where I'm not exactly doing a great job anyway, because I'm fumbling around. So. Okay. Alright, what I've noticed now is I should have worked out my floor in the scene before for ambient occlusion. So I'm going to delete the phone pieces. Let's go into an outliner view. Outliner view. See these linked object here. Right click, delete, delete, delete. Now this floor, let's go back into a solid view. Let's give that floor a material. Let's reduce its specularity. Just for fun, give it some ray mirror. And let's make the floor sort of a darker color. And let's save this as our ambient occlusion light set. And now let's append. We'll link. Type cell phone items, append them in here. Set this to a textured view. Grab that. G, middle mouse click, pull back, and go into the scene scene buttons. Turn off border. Click this on 100%. Hit render. It is not rendering the texture. Why is that? A material for that. Why is it not rendering the texture? Let's see what it does. It may do that in another pass. It may run the ambient occlusion pass and then run the texture pass. So I'm going to pause. Jumping back in here, you can see that right now we're just getting the gray phone. We're not getting the texture. So what I need to take a look at is the settings for the texture mapping and see what I can do to adjust that.